Step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. The principle behind the third step is faith. So we talked in step 2 about hope that we will, or that we have an opportunity and that we can recover. Faith is more about believing that we will recover, that God will take care of us, that He will do what He's already told us He would do and provide for us. You know, it doesn't mean you're going to be rich or you're going to be famous or you're going to do the things, you know, that other people have done. What it means is you're going to have a life that you can live with, a life that is good enough. Oftentimes I remember in the rooms they would tell me, if today is as good as it gets, is it good enough? And for a long time it wasn't, but now it is. Now it's better than I could imagine. And you know, I struggled with faith. It took me a long time to really understand that God cared enough about me to save my life. But the bottom line is that He did. And I've been learning over my last year or two about how He has pursued me for a relationship for all of these years. I'm the one that backed off. It's kind of like the footprints in the sand where it talks about, you know, only one set of footprints. Where were you when I needed you? And He was carrying me. And see, I didn't realize that was really true. But now I can look back and all the times that I see that I should have died, could have died, wanted to die, that He didn't let that happen to me. So I love talking about faith now. I mean, when I've told my story over the last 20 years, I've told my story probably 20 times. And only the last 2 or 3 was I able to talk about having a faith in God and believing that He loved me enough, that I was enough for Him in my current state, in my broken state, in my state where I've been put back together right now. All throughout my life, I've been enough for Him. And if I'm enough for Him, then I've got to be enough for myself. So that's what I really love talking about faith. I'm going to move right on into step 4, which is made a fearless and searching moral inventory of ourselves. The principle behind step 4 is courage. Courage is one of my favorite things. So the definition of courage is strength in the face of pain. That means a lot to me because I've always thought of myself as being a strong woman. And I've always been I've persevered in anything that I did, and I'm very tenacious and I'm very ambitious. And even in my addiction, I would do that. Anything I did it to death. But courage is being full of fear and wrestling up the courage to do it anyway. You know, I have them tattooed on my arm, strength and courage, because these are my favorite 2 things. And I didn't even realize that they used the word strength to define courage. But I think that those are 2 of the most important principles, because without persevering through this program and without all the pain that comes with pouring everything out of myself, it's about courage, to be honest. I talked a little bit in step 1 about how step 4 and 1 are related, and when I'm looking up to talk about the steps, it goes back to step 1. So I need the courage to be honest about who I am. I need the courage to be honest about the things I've done. You know, and I may have regrets, but it teaches me. It's one of the promises that says we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That means that I've learned from my past and that I wouldn't be who I am without having gone through all the trials and tribulations that I went through. I need to have the courage to accept my own humanity. And although sometimes I fall short of what I know God wants for my life, I'm usually willing and able to pick up the pieces from that and not beat myself up quite as hard as I used to. Having strength and courage gives me the ability to believe in the promises. We say in the rooms that we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That's a really important promise for me because I've always been filled with regret. I've been riddled with regret and resentment. If someone hurt me especially, I would be angry forever. And now I've accepted that I have no regrets for anyone who came into my life, because every person that came into my life left a little piece of them with me and helped to shape who I am and where I am going forward. Without all of those past experiences, I may be someone totally different today. The other promise that I really love is that we will see how our experiences can benefit others. I finally have the courage to admit that I have something good to offer the world, where before I always felt like I had no value. So the program has given me the strength and the courage to know that I do have something good. And I hope that you find what you're looking for in these videos, in the program, in your own recovery, and in your own sobriety. And tune in tomorrow.